Good evening, everyone. We are back inside our home field Credit Union Studio B to bring you our latest edition of the Milford Informer. I am Tim Coet. Over the last 7 days, we've had the chance to bring you full game coverage of 4 different Scarlet Hawks teams. A little bit later on, we will present highlights from each of those teams. First, however, let's show you everything we have coming up tonight in our top stories rundown. Tonight, Malcolm Zale will walk us through this year's Milford Regional Auxiliaries Taste of the Towns event, the Auxiliaries' largest fundraising event of the year. Also tonight, Dr. Kevin McIntyre delivers his latest Superintendent update, which includes information on Milford's Special Olympics program. And later in sports, we'll report on a busy week in Milford athletics, with highlights from the football team, as well as girls volleyball and boys and girls soccer. Late last week, the Milford Regional Medical Center Auxiliary presented one of their biggest events of the year. It was the annual Taste of the Towns, which this year was held inside the Crystal Room. Our own Malcolm Zale and Mike Sperling traveled to the event. Here is Malcolm with the story.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see you there. I'm Malcolm. That was Al Correa. We are here at the 13th Annual Taste of the Towns here in Milford, Massachusetts. We are at the Crystal Room tonight, and it is a gorgeous venue. They got some amazing chandeliers, amazing light fixtures all around the place. The place is gorgeous, it's elegant, it's everything you want a Milford event to be. We got some gorgeous vendors out here tonight. They got the tastiest foods in all of Milford. It looks delicious. I can't wait to get my hands on it. I see some lovely beef over there. I see some amazing cakes. As you can see, the event has started maybe 6 minutes ago, and it's already packed. It just goes to show you the amount of support and community that comes out when you're in such an amazing town like Milford. Let's go take you around. Hello! Good to see you again. I'm here with Zach from Alicante.
How we doing?
So, what can you tell me about Alicante and Taste of the Towns?
Yeah, so I've done Taste of the Towns for the past 4 years now. Alicante, it's a Mediterranean restaurant located on Route 16 in Mendon, Mass. We've been in operation for 16 years now. Today, if you'd like to try, we have a lobster mac and cheese, which is gluten-free, and then an apple butternut squash bisque.
Can I put my hand in there and just lick it off?
I would recommend you not, but
Okay.
I can't stop you. But yeah, I can certainly give you a bowl here if you want. Put that in your mouth.
Can you hold this for me?
Yeah.
Ooh, what did you say that was? That's really good.
Apple butternut squash bisque.
Ooh, that's awesome.
Really
All right,
good,
thank
right?
you so much.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so Red Heat Tavern, we are opening on Route 109 on October 15th, so a couple weeks away. We have our pulled pork sliders here. It's smoked pork that we smoke in-house with apple coleslaw on top, and that's what we're serving today. But our menu overall is American comfort food, a lot of smoky flavors, not spicy, but the Red Heat gets that smoky flavor from our Josper oven, which we import from Spain, and we're one of the few restaurants that have it.
Nice. Now, you said Rick's your chef, right?
I am Rick. I'm the general manager.
You're Rick, right.
This is Albert. He's the executive chef.
Albert's the chef. What is your best dish?
Oh, jeez, I don't know. My favorite on the menu is definitely the steak tips, though.
Okay.
Definitely got to check that out if you ever come to see us.
What is his best dish?
Well, I know the best dish on the menu for me, again, is the steak tips. They're the best steak tips I've ever had.
Okay. I'll make a point for the steak tips.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We're here again with the lovely Miss Andrew Stone. Miss Stone, what could you tell us about this amazing event you got going on tonight?
This is the first time we've done it here, and this is exciting. We're full to capacity, the food is delicious, and the best thing is we're raising funds for the hospital. They're renovating the 4th floor, so we're doing what we can do to help them to make all the rooms private.
What can you tell me about the event as a whole? Like, what went into this? Who are some of your favorite vendors out here? What's your favorite thing to eat that's out here?
I'm not going to choose one over the other. They're all wonderful. It's a little taste that hits everybody. So if you don't like prime rib, you can move on to something else, but everything is good.
What is your favorite part about this particular event? What's your favorite part about the Milford Taste of the Towns?
Because of the cause, what we're doing to raise money.
I really like that part too, but I'm not gonna lie, I think my favorite part was that amazing roast beef he has over there. It's
It was
delicious.
good.
It's pretty
It
good.
was good. Yep, definitely.
Hello, everybody. Yet again, I'm Malcolm Zale, or maybe I should be saying goodbye, seeing as this is our sign-off. Closing out an excellent night again here, the 13th annual Milford Taste of the Towns. So many people came out. We were filled to capacity here at the Crystal Room. All this money goes to support a great cause. We're renovating the 4th floor of Milford Regional Hospital, thanks to the Milford Regional Auxiliary. We talked to Andrew Stone, who is lovely. She threw all of this together. She is the greatest. She got all of these amazing vendors. She brought some amazing food out tonight. It was a great event. Hope to see you next year. Come on down.
Superintendent of Schools Dr. Kevin McIntyre was back at our studio this week to record his second superintendent update of the school year. Let's hear from Dr. McIntyre as he addresses 3 major topics within the schools.
Hello Hawk Nation, we have a great deal to be proud of as a school community. I want to focus on 4 areas for this update: Special Olympics and Unified Sports, Milford High School Athletics, Technology, and Social Emotional Learning. Milford High School was declared an official Special Olympics National Banner Unified Champion School by Special Olympics International. Milford High School is one of only 10 schools in Massachusetts and 131 schools nationwide to achieve this status for the 2017-2018 school year. A Special Olympics Unified Champion School has an inclusive school climate and exudes a sense of collaboration, engagement, and respect for all members of the student body and staff. A Unified Champion School receiving national banner recognition is one that has demonstrated a commitment to inclusion by meeting 10 national standards of excellence. These standards were developed by a national panel of leaders from Special Olympics and the education community. The primary activities within these standards include Special Olympics Unified Sports, where students with and without disabilities train and compete as teammates, inclusive youth leadership, and whole school engagement. Congratulations to all of our faculty, staff, students, and volunteers for all of their hard work and efforts to make our Unified Sports program, Special Olympics, and Best Buddies program a huge success. These efforts contribute to a positive school culture and community. This also aligns with our strategic focus area of equity and access. Over the last 3 years, 75 Milford High School graduates are competing as college athletes at the Division 1, 2, and 3 levels. This is approximately 3 times the national average. I want to thank our coaches and athletic director for supporting and preparing these student athletes. We are seeing very high levels of participation in athletics at both the high school and middle school level. We are well into the fall season, and it looks like another very successful start to the year on the athletic fields. Shifting gears to technology, we're officially a one-to-one device environment in grades 3 through 12 across the Milford Public Schools. I want to thank the technology department for the rollout of approximately 3,000 devices across Woodland Elementary School, Stacy Middle School, and Milford High School. Teachers are engaging students in a number of exciting ways and using the technology to support their learning.
Let's try this again. See if we can move it. All right, now let it distract. Now. Drag it. Perfect. All right.
Finally, we have a number of things happening in the area of social emotional learning, including Starts with Hello Week, piloting the Second Step curriculum at Woodland Elementary School, counseling partnerships with Wayside, and trauma training for our faculty. Check out the new SEL webpage on the Milford Public Schools website for details. It is an honor and privilege to serve as the superintendent of the Milford Public Schools. Thank you, Hawk Nation.
As we mentioned off the top of the show, we were fortunate to cover 4 of Milford High School's fall teams over the last week. First, let's take you back to last Friday night, where the Hawks football team hoped to shake off their 0-2 start as they opened the crucial division portion of their schedule. Last season, it was Milford's execution on special teams that was the difference in a narrow 21-19 victory over Canton. Both the Hawks and the Bulldogs were hoping to execute in all phases of the game as they met up in a crucial Week 3 showdown. For the second week in a row, we'd see Milford's opponent defer the opening kickoff, and for a second straight week, we'd see sloppy play on the opening kick return for the Hawks. Again, it was Hugo Lopes who would bobble the kick, He'd managed to secure the possession, but he would be downed just outside the 10-yard line to set up a long field for the Hawks. 2 plays into the drive, Milford would start to get things going out of the war package. Luke Rosa would take the handoff and would quickly sweep to the far side, picking up 18 yards and a Milford first down. On the next play, Pearl would look to hand off to C.J. Sorella, but Sorella would immediately bobble the handoff, and Canton's Kyle Fitzgerald would recover to give the Bulldogs possession inside Hawks territory. With the team in a tough spot, Milford's defense would need to stand strong to prevent the Bulldogs from grabbing an early lead. Lined up with a running back to his left, a man in motion from right to left as Hagan looks to throw, and the ball is intercepted by Brendan White, heading down the near sideline, and he gets wrapped up. A shoestring tackle eventually made by the quarterback, Johnny Hagan, but not before White gets inside Canton territory. Despite the interception return giving the offense excellent field position, Canton would force the Hawks into a 3-and-out as the game would continue on scoreless. On the Bulldogs' next possession, they would showcase each of their dynamic weapons on offense. First, it was the running back Gersom Rivera who would take the toss and would quickly accelerate, rumbling past midfield on a gain of 15. Later in the drive on 3rd down, quarterback Johnny Hagan would keep the ball himself, springing loose for 17 yards, taking the ball down to the Milford 30. And then 2 plays later, Hagan drops back, and this time he would find Kyle Fitzgerald wide open, and Fitzgerald would do the rest. Despite a fumble on the goal line, Fitzgerald would find his way into the end zone from 27 yards out to place Canton in front. Milford's offense would continue to sputter as the first half went on. The Hawks would punt yet again with just over 8 minutes to go in the second quarter, but watch the play turned in by the Milford special teams. Lehane delivers another strong kick, and then Dylan Ortiz and company were able to get back in time to stop the ball just before it reached the end zone, and Canton would be forced to start their next drive from their own 1-yard line. Canton would end up giving the ball back to Milford, who would enjoy starting field position just outside the 50, and that's where Chappelle Feaster would breathe some life into the beleaguered Milford offense. On the very first play of the drive, Feaster would prove impossible to take down in the open field, making multiple defenders miss on what would eventually be a 24-yard gain. It was not the only time Feaster's number would be called on the drive. And now Perez looks to throw on 2nd down, looking towards the end zone. He has Feaster, who is in. Touchdown, Scarlet Hawks. A 17-yard touchdown catch for Chappelle Feaster. And right now, Milford an extra point away from tying this game up. It seemed a certainty that Milford would tie the score, but Canton would get good penetration into the backfield on the point-after attempt, and Lehane's kick would be blocked, allowing the Bulldogs to hold on to a 1-point lead. Milford would get the ball back one more time before the half, and they'd manage to take it down to the Canton 44 with 1 second to go. Coach Vazakis would then elect to send Lehane out to try what would be a 61-yard field goal attempt. Milford would get a clean snap and hold, and as Lehane's kick sailed through the air, it was right on line, but it would ultimately fall just inches shy of what would have been a new state record. But the half was not over quite yet. After Canton was called for an offsides, Lehane would have one more chance, this time from 56 yards out. But this time the seniors' attempt would be wide to the right, and so despite several chances to tie or take the lead, Milford would enter halftime trailing Canton by 1. The Bulldogs would have the ball first to start the second half, and they'd enjoy a successful drive, taking 3.5 minutes off the clock before Johnny Hagan would deliver a strike to Ryan Lentil from 31 yards out. Canton would tack on the extra point to make it a 14-6 score. The score would be unchanged on Canton's next possession, where they were once again backed up deep thanks to a solid Lehane punt. Hagan would look to Fitzgerald on another toss sweep on 1st down, but Milford would end up forcing a fumble, and the Hawks would recover, giving the offense a golden opportunity to get back on the board. On the first play of the Milford drive, Perez would give to Feaster, who tried to wait for an opening in the backfield, but the opening never came, and Feaster would be dropped for a huge 13-yard loss. Feaster would look to make up that ground on the Hawks' next play. Again, about a 13-yard loss on the play. Perez now looking for Feaster again, has him wide open, and he will walk into the end zone for a touchdown, Scarlet Hawks. So Feaster makes it a little more interesting, and in the end he hauls in his 2nd touchdown grab of the night, this one from 27 yards out. And that makes it a 14-12 score, and a very interesting play call coming up here for Coach Vazakis. It turned out to be an easy decision for the Milford head coach, as he'd send the offense out to try for the 2-point conversion to tie the game. As Perez dropped back to throw, he'd be looking for Feaster again, but Canton would have him covered, and eventually Perez would run out of time and the 2-point try would fail. With Milford running out of time, we'd see Perez and Feaster get together again, this time on a big 36-yard reception down to the Canton 36-yard line. Milford would be unable to advance the ball much further, and on 4th down, Sean Lehane would have another field goal chance. But Canton would get a piece of the football as it traveled over the line of scrimmage, and the kick would be no good. Believe it or not, this game was still not over quite yet. Milford would get the ball back in their hands one last time, and with just 4 seconds left, they would put Sean Lehane in position to try a game-winning 48-yard field goal.
And set to go now. Ryan Pearl will take the snap, a clean hold, and the kick is blocked. The Canton Bulldogs block the kick from Sean Lehane for the second time as time expires, and the Bulldogs race out onto the field to celebrate an agonizing finish for the Scarlet Hawks.
The football team is hoping to finally end their losing streak tonight as they travel to North Attleboro to take on the Rocketeers. We hope to obtain footage from that game, and if we do, we will have highlights for you here on The Informer next week. Now let's move on to show you a full recap of this week in Milford sports, including games for girls volleyball as well as boys and girls soccer. Our busy week of sports coverage began in the Milford gym on Monday, where the Lady Hawks volleyball team faced an early season test as they matched up against the North Attleboro Lady Rocketeers. North entered the game tied with Milford for second place in the Davenport standings. Early on in the first set, it was North Attleboro who would seize momentum. Here it's Eliza Dion who picks a spot on the floor just out of the reach of Sydney Sutton to get the kill that pushed the Rocketeers' lead to 12-5. Coach Weber would then call a timeout, and clearly her words resonated with the players as Milford would start to climb their way back into the set, eventually tying the score after Allison and Lauren Corsini would team up for this nice block. Later in the set, Milford would position themselves for a set point up 24-22, but North would fight it off, and that would begin an exchange of points between the two teams that would take us all the way to a score of 29-28, where the Davenport rivals would exchange one of their longest rallies of the match before Lauren Corsini would come through with the block that would award Milford a hard-earned set victory. Midway through the second set, Milford looked to be on their way to taking a 2-0 lead as Allison Corsini delivered another key block to put Milford up 17-14. But North would quickly flip the script, going on an 11-2 run to ultimately take the set 25-19, evening it at a set apiece. The third set would be an extremely close-played affair, with neither side taking more than a 3-point lead. Here, Sydney Sutton's serve could not be returned, giving the Lady Hawks a 20-17 lead. Finally, Milford would be able to expand that lead, and after the Rocketeers fought off one set point, Allison Corsini would be at the center of another key play, muscling the ball past the north front row to give Milford a 2-0 advantage. Milford would not allow for much drama in the fourth set, taking control and eventually taking the set by a 25-16 margin, and the Lady Scarlet Hawks would emerge victorious over their Davenport rivals by a final of 3-1. On Wednesday, it was on to the soccer pitch as the Milford boys team hosted a Hockomock League crossover opponent in the Kelly Rex Division Taunton Tigers. Milford was hoping to claim their 4th victory on the year, but early on in the first half, the Tigers would catch Milford by surprise with their energy. Inside the first minute of play, Taunton would release a shot through traffic, and Josh Orellana would need to make a sprawling save to prevent the scoring chance. Just 30 seconds later, Taunton would carry into their attacking side before sending a shot in from deep on the far side. Orellana would make the stop, but the rebound would ricochet right to Taunton's Mateus Hagemeyer, but Lucas De Silva would be there in support to deflect the shot away. After surviving those early scares, Milford would change the course of the match just seconds later. Milford able to dump it back deep, as now back there is Omar Lima, who scored his first goal of the season just in Milford's last game and now follows it up, getting that one past the keeper. And after a couple of scary chances for Taunton, it is Milford who is able to strike first as Omar Lima nets his second goal of the season. And just like that, the Scarlet Hawks are able to take a 1-0 lead. Milford would control the pace of the rest of the first half, but would be unable to tack on to the lead. That would quickly change, however, as the second half began.
And now this one taking a bounce right at the feet of Borges, and he's able to direct it in for the score. Jordan Borges, that kick came in right at his feet. He was able to settle it and eventually get it past the keeper, and Borges able to give Milford now a 2-0 lead. Finally, Lucas De Silva able to get there. Now here's Wallison de Oliveira. Just one defender to beat, gets the deflection off the hands of the keeper and in. And Wallison de Oliveira has his 6th goal of this 2018 season, and Milford now opens up a 3-0 lead. This current nucleus of players, a lot of seniors on this team, a lot of upperclassmen, as now here's de Oliveira, gets it past the keeper and in, his 2nd goal of the game, his 2nd goal of the half, and just too strong for this Taunton team as de Oliveira makes it 4-0 Milford.
It was the 2nd time this season Milford would score 4 goals in a single game, and it was the 3rd multi-goal game for Wallison de Oliveira. Milford defeats Taunton by a final score of 4-0. After the boys win on Wednesday, the girls would take to the pitch on Thursday against the Stoughton Lady Knights. Milford earned their first victory of the season just 24 hours before, but the win did come with a price, as a controversial red card issued to Milford's scoring star Juliana France would force her into a 2-game suspension. Playing undermanned, Milford would hang tough as the match went along against Stoughton. Midway through the first half, Stoughton would have a possible breakaway chance with their talented junior Chinazo Adunze, but watch as Sophia Wilson uses her speed and awareness to close in and cut down the angle to deny the shot on goal. Later in the half, Milford would dump the ball in deep, giving Christina Shirelli a chance to make a play in the corner. Shirelli would try to sneak it across the goal mouth for a streaking Cassie Probert, but keeper Brianna Buckley would get there first. Both sides would see sporadic chances throughout the half, but in the end we'd reach halftime in the midst of a scoreless deadlock. Into the second half now, Stoughton would get the ball ahead to their offensive weapon, Chinazo Adunze, once again, and she would find space between a pair of Milford defenders to clear herself for a shot, but Carly Ferreira would be in position to make the save, and we'd continue on scoreless. Finally, about midway through the second half, Milford would have another opportunity to break the scoreless tie.
Now moved ahead to a wide-open Cassie Probert. Now the centering pass, and there is Sullivan, and finally she's rewarded. Probert got it started, a great centering pass for Olivia Sullivan, who guided it in past the keeper, and finally the scoreless deadlock is broken as Milford takes a 1-0 lead.
It was the 2nd goal in as many games for Olivia Sullivan, and it would turn out to be the lone goal of this game. Milford makes it 2 victories in a row as they defeat the Stoughton Lady Knights by a final score of 1-0. Coming up on October 6th, the Hockomock Area YMCA will be celebrating Healthy Kids Day. Healthy Kids Day is a free community event that encourages kids to be active and provides families with options and methods for living healthier lives. The event will feature active play and engaging activities, including gymnastics, obstacle courses, bounce houses, fire and police safety, and more. There will also be plenty of raffles and takeaways. The Healthy Kids Day is taking place on Saturday, October 6th, over at Patriot Place in Foxborough from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. For more information, log on to hawkymca.org/healthy-kids-day. On October 9th, the town of Milford will be holding a pre-town meeting forum. The purpose of this forum is to provide an opportunity for town meeting members, as well as members of the public, to ask questions regarding any of the 36 articles that appear on the warrant for the October town meeting. Residents are encouraged to submit requests in advance for which articles they would like to discuss at the meeting. Articles with the highest response will receive special emphasis at the pre-town meeting forum. To submit a request for an article to be discussed, please send an email to tmsic@townofmilford.com and include Pre-Town Meeting Forum on the subject line. Once again, the Pre-Town Meeting Forum will be held on Tuesday, October 9th, over at Upper Town Hall beginning at 7 p.m. And coming up on October 13th, the Milford High School Hospitality and Tourism Management Program will be hosting their 4th annual Stacy Middle School Color Run. The event is fully organized by the MHS HTM students, and all proceeds will benefit activities at Stacy Middle School. Registration for the event can be done online or on the day of the event. Again, the Color Run is taking place at Stacy Middle School on Saturday, October 13th, with registration at 8 a.m., the Kids Fun Run beginning at 9 a.m., and the Color Run kicking off at 9:30 a.m. For more information or to register, simply log on to the website on your screen right now. That's all we have for you this week. Remember, if you ever have an idea for a news story or an event you'd like to see us showcase here on the Milford Informer, you can contact me directly using the email address news@milfordtv.net. Thank you as always for tuning in. From all of us here at Milford TV, this is Tim Coet saying have a great week. So long, everybody.